Hi, my name is Jack Whitell, and I'm doing my slideshow and paper on media bias in the era of the internet. And it's really focusing on how framing bias, algorithms, and agenda setting shape public opinion. Here's the overview of some key perspectives on media bias. The first way is the traditional view, and that's really when you look at how different news stations report on the same topic. So when you do this, it's you see how they have a different tone and different emphasis with each story that they tell. The systematic view is when bias comes from it's a product of the system. So the way that the system of the news stations is set up, because at the end of the day they're still a business, they need viewers and money to keep it going. They need to have some sort of bias to retain said viewers, and the audience-driven view. The viewers are actively filtering news through pre-existing values. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. It's just people it's almost like confirmation bias. I'm sure I'll get into that a little bit later, but yeah, it's news stations kind of going along with what their viewers already believe in just to keep that retention. Framing bias and social media algorithms. Framing bias is when these news stations, they will try and shift a story into a different perspective almost for the viewer, where it's I talked a little bit about this in my paper, where it's say there's an unemployment rate issue in or not issue, but it was a unemployment rate story in the paper, and one news station, they frame it like this unemployment rate is going down from what it used to be. So it's actually showing that the economy is getting better and all that. The other news station could say, look at how many people are still unemployed. And it will just be there's different ways of framing each topic. So depending on how you really frame it is it's gonna shift the view that the perspective that the viewers have of the story. And the algorithm effect is it goes along with framing bias. So these news stations, they want to have a catchy story and all that, so it catches on the algorithm, so they become more popular. So they'll try and frame their stories into a way where they're more likely to catch or not catch fire, but go viral on social media. Okay, so agenda setting and confirmation bias. Agenda setting is kind of when the news stations kind of report or choose what to report, just not to push a certain agenda per se, but at the same time, they're trying to sway the public opinion on whatever subject that they're reporting on. So having that and figuring out what to report on and what not to report on kind of changes the level of importance per topic in the eyes of the public. And confirmation bias, I talked about it a little bit earlier. It's pretty self-explanatory. The news stations, they want to report on stuff where their already existing viewers agree with that topic, so they'll I don't know, they'll try and reinforce the viewer's opinion just to keep them coming back and watching their program. And then here are my references. Thank you.